Uncertainty is one of the hardest things to sit with, not knowing how something is going to turn out, not being able to see far enough ahead to feel safe, holding a decision that has real consequences, and not having enough information to make it confidently. Living in a season where the next step is not clear, and the waiting feels less like patience and more like standing in the dark, hoping the floor is still there when you move. Most people handle uncertainty by trying to eliminate it. They research, they plan. They run every possible scenario through their heads, trying to find the one that covers all the variables. They stay up late turning it over. They reach for control because control feels safer than trust, even when the control is an illusion. Our Father has something to say about that. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. Proverbs 3:5-6, ESV. Trust in our Father with all your heart, not part of it, not the portion left over after you have exhausted your own ability to figure it out. All of it, the whole heart, the worry and the plan and the fear and the hope and the version of the outcome you are desperately holding on to, all of it placed into His hands rather than gripped tightly in yours. And then, do not lean on your own understanding. That is the part that challenges most people. Because leaning on your own understanding is not a bad impulse. Our Father gave us minds. He gave us the ability to reason and plan and think carefully. None of that is wrong. The problem is not the thinking. The problem is the leaning, the placing of your full weight on what you can figure out on your own, as if our Father's perspective on the situation does not exist or does not matter. Your understanding is limited by what you can see. Our Father's understanding is not limited by anything. He sees the full picture, every variable, every outcome, every thread of the situation that you do not have access to from where you are standing. When you lean exclusively on your own understanding, you are navigating with a partial map. When you trust our Father with all your heart, you are walking with the one who drew the map. Now this was written by Solomon, and Solomon's context matters here. He was the wisest man who had ever lived. Our Father had given him wisdom beyond anything any human being before or after him possessed. If anyone had reason to lean on his own understanding, it was Solomon. His mind was the sharpest instrument in the room, in every room he ever entered, and he wrote, "Do not lean on your own understanding." Trust our Father with all your heart. That is not false modesty. That is a man whose extraordinary wisdom had shown him clearly where human understanding reaches its limit and what lives beyond that limit. Solomon had seen enough, understood enough, to know that the wisest thing any person can do is trust the Father, whose understanding has no ceiling. Think about the specific thing you are uncertain about right now, the decision, the situation, the relationship, the future that feels unclear. You have probably already thought about it extensively. You have turned it over. You have weighed the options. You have tried to see around the corners. And you're still uncertain, because the information you need to feel fully confident is not available to you from where you are standing. Our Father has that information. He is not uncertain about your situation. He is not weighing the options or hoping things work out. He sees the full picture from beginning to end. And He is not withholding that perspective to make your life harder. He is inviting you to trust Him with it. To place the full weight of the uncertainty into the hands of the Father who is not uncertain about any of it. That is not passive resignation. That is the wisest move available to you. The second part of this verse carries a promise that is easy to read past quickly. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. All your ways, not the obviously spiritual ones, not just the big decisions that feel weighty enough to bring to our Father. All of them. The ordinary Tuesday, the conversation you are nervous about, the decision that seems too small to pray about, the direction you are leaning toward but have not fully committed to yet. All of your ways acknowledged before our Father. And the promise that follows is not vague. He will make straight your paths, not he might. Not he will consider it, he will. Active, certain. A direct consequence of the posture described in the first part of the verse. Now, straight does not always mean easy. A straight path through a mountain is still a mountain. Our Father is not promising that trust eliminates difficulty. He is promising that the path will be clear, that the direction will not be a mystery, that the way forward will be made known to the one who has genuinely placed their trust in Him and is walking in acknowledgement of His presence in every area of their life. Think about the difference between walking a hard road with clear direction and walking an easy road with no idea where it leads. The clarity is worth more than the comfort. Knowing the path is straight, knowing our Father has ordered your steps, changes how you walk even when the terrain is difficult. It changes the quality of the uncertainty itself. It becomes a different kind of unknown, one that is held by a Father who knows exactly where you are going, even when you cannot see it yet. Solomon wrote this early in Proverbs for a reason. He was laying a foundation before all the wisdom and the practical instruction that follows in the rest of the book. He starts here. Trust our Father with all your heart. Acknowledge Him in everything. Let Him make the path straight. That is the starting point. Everything else builds on it, and it is worth asking honestly. Where are you leaning on your own understanding right now? Not as a condemnation, as a genuine, practical question. Where is the area of your life where you have been carrying the weight of figuring it out entirely on your own, where you have been navigating by your own limited map, where our Father has been waiting for you to simply open your hands and say, I cannot see all of this. I trust you with what I cannot see. Because the invitation in Proverbs 3 is not complicated. It is not asking for perfect faith or perfect understanding or a perfectly resolved heart. It is asking for direction, a turned heart, a trust that chooses our Father's perspective over its own limitations. In all your ways, acknowledge Him. That acknowledgement does not have to be elaborate. It can be as simple as, Father, I do not know how this resolves. I cannot see far enough ahead to feel certain. But I trust you with this. I trust that you see what I cannot see. And I trust that you will make the path clear. That is the whole posture. Simple, honest, directionally right. Our Father does not need you to have the answers before you trust Him. He just needs the trust. The genuine, all-your-heart trust that stops white-knuckling the uncertainty and places it in the hands of the Father who is not uncertain about anything. He made you. He knows you. He sees every step of the path ahead of you. And He has promised, not suggested, not hoped, that the one who trusts Him with all their heart and acknowledges Him in everything will find their path made straight. That promise is yours. It has been waiting for you to reach for it, and it does not require you to see the whole road first. Just the next step, taken in trust, with your Father leading the way. Something in what you just heard was meant for you. Sit with that for a moment.